Rhythmic, the land of the seven huts, comprises the spiritual, cultural, political, and social entity of the districts of West Khasi Hills, East Khasi Hills, Ribhoi, and the Jainti Hills of eastern Meghalaya, the abode of clouds, the land of eternal charm, the blue hills and green lush plains and valleys, the roaring waterfalls, brooks, streams and rivers, the woods, groves and forests, the home of varied animals, birds, plants and orchids, are inspirational for poets, bards and composers to create the sound of music, the rhythmic mystical. Like any other parts of the northeastern region of India, bamboo culture runs in the veins of the people, many of the musical instruments being carved out of bamboo known as the green gold of the northeast. The knor instrument is one of the musical instruments made and carved out of bamboo, giving a supportive rhythm and timing to other instruments, which is essential to any musical rendering. The knor is therefore instrumental in the Chipya dance, a spiritualistic dance performance on the annual pilgrimage day every first Sunday of the month of February to the sacred Ulom Sopetbeneng Peak. The pilgrimage signifies the descendants of the Nyotrep people through the Golden Bridge from the abode of gods above down to the summit of the peak to be crowned rulers to other creations on earth. The Golden Bridge today signifies the golden heart and soul of each person in communion with the Creator. Besides the knor, other musical instruments such as the drums, flutes, cymbals accompany the singing of praise to the divine. The dancers in their traditional attire, decked with golden necklace, keep in time to the song, accompanied by the instruments, paying homage to the divine creator and also of the fond memory of the 9 huts, Kikhandai Trep, who together with the 7 huts, Kihnyo Trep, form the 16 huts, Kikhanriu Trep. It was the divine ordained that the 9 huts remain in their celestial abode and the 7 huts, Kihnyotrep, settle on earth to earn righteousness. The tangmuri, a wind instrument, which is considered to be the queen of Khasi musical instruments. The drums keep the beat, timing and tempo of the tune, and it is the tangmuri from which emanates tunes having various pitch from the low somber notes to the high and shrill pitch, rising and fluctuating as the fingers of the musician deftly shift the fingers with dexterity, intricately weaving the musical notes up and down along the 7 holes of this piped instrument. The tangmuri is basically carved out from wood of tree trunks, depending on the availability of species of trees growing in different climatic conditions. It is, however, a common practice that before any tree or bamboo is felled for making musical instruments, solemn words are spoken, telling the particular tree that it is not being cut down for destruction, but to enrich the musical wealth of the land and the people. The Tangmuri has its own history of uniqueness. One of the shining knights of yore, called Usorpin, had ordered a certain species of bamboo called Ujapung to serve as the tongue of the Tangmuri. Therefore, without this Japung tongue of the Tangmuri, fitted at the blowing end, no sound would emerge. It is believed that Ujapung, which is found in isolated places far from a village or settlement, can produce sharper musical notes, as it is believed that the Japung is shy to compete with the crowing of the cock or rooster, being the harbinger of the light of the sun. The classical tunes of the Tangmuri, accompanied by the 27 variations of drum beats, played at the annual Nongkrem Dance Festival, now occupy a place of pride in the national treasure of the Archives of the Music of India of the Sangeet Natak Academy in New Delhi since 1999. One of the exponents of the Tangmuri, Ukomik Khongjirem, was one of the recipients among the galaxy of the country's art and cultural artists of the Sangeet Natak Academy Awards, was honored with the award held for the first time outside Delhi in Guwahati, Assam on the 2nd of April 2002. Komik Khongjirem, while in teaching session with one of his pupils. The guru and the pupil explore the heart-rending tunes of the Tangmuri, the queen of musical instruments.
Menokong nga mendang sedang nga sina kejing sina jung nga ngampoi pekat bakan long meniki.
Since my early age, I have been taught by the elders to play the Tangmuri. I strongly believe that this is a God-divine gift. When I play, especially in the performance of religious tunes during the rites and rituals of the Nongkrem Dance Festival, I made sincere efforts to play from the heart and soul in an atmosphere of solemnity. It is the music of the Xing blade, meaning the drums of the divine creator, that I feel most honored and at the same time very humble. I have devoted myself not only in the playing of the instrument, but also to encourage and teach the younger generation, so that this art and wisdom is handed down to the young people along the passage of time. The duitara is a household musical instrument of the Khasis. It is a four-string instrument associated with typical Khasi folk tunes in the singing of a ballad, a slow romantic song, or the singing of the cavatina, that is a short, simple song, usually slow and emotional. The musical rendering produced is according to the movement of the fingers gracefully pressing the wooden edge in which the pegs or keys of the instrument are attached. It is played by strumming with a plectrum called tembrong. The frontal part of the duitara is covered with domestic animal skin, which also serves as the sound box. The strings of the duitara are metallic, yet there is a romantic reference to the strings of the duitara, lovingly called Khasi muka, meaning the golden thread of the muga silk. The duitara occupies an important place in traditional instruments because of its maestro or majestically appearance, especially when it attains the natural color of deep black bronze, which comes after years of placing the instrument above the fireplace or hearth, as the wooden body is cured by the rising smoke. Elders would tell stories of brave kings and beautiful princesses, of wars and demons, personalizing the varied plants and animal kingdoms. Such stories are told when the sun had set long back behind the horizon of dark blue hills, around the flickering flames at the fireside that makes listeners spellbound and enchanted. In recent years, the duitara had gained popularity, especially among the youths who are keenly taken to learn and play the duitara. One such youth is Meban, who confesses that he has fallen in love with the duitara.
Well, Meban, you are an exponent of the duitara. You've been playing, I think, quite a long time. As you know, the duitara is an important string instrument of the Khasis. How you have taken interest in learning to play duitara?
Before coming to that question, I just want to tell you that I'm interested in music since childhood. So when I was around 18, before 18 I played the guitar. And after playing the guitar for quite some years, I feel that I should learn how to play the duitara, because duitara is our own traditional musical instrument. So as I have been playing the guitar, which is a string instrument, I think it doesn't take much time to learn the duitara. It's my interest.
The tunes and accompanying songs of the duitara are ballad form, slow, sentimental, and romantic songs of the cantata, a short narrative or descriptive composition of vocal solo. The music and songs are more or less a fantasia, that is, a musical composition free in form and often improvisatory style or based on several familiar tunes. It requires a set of right mood of a person to sing along with the accompanying duitara, to spontaneously compose the lyrics and songs. Such singers, as if in a trance, would pour out their emotions, singing songs that bear relevant messages to the present world and generations, when old values seem to have been forgotten. The Duitara is therefore teaching vital lessons of values preservation and promotion, the qualities needed in today's hectic world of materialism. Lariti Production is an upcoming cultural center located at Maulai Mauro Point in Shillong, founded by Dr. Helen Giri, a well-known figure and personality in promoting Khasi traditional music. It is in this center that she has tried to accommodate and train youths, especially those who are physically challenged, for the crafting of Khasi musical instrument and other cultural miniatures, and training young girls in the making of traditional dance attire. Her commitment is so strong that she has started the work with funds from her pension benefits. She has made this center as an avenue of employment to the weaker sections of society, and at the same time creating an awareness of the need to preserve and uplift the art forms and culture of the region. It is through her efforts that the Northeastern Hill University of Shillong that traditional music was introduced into the academics, in which the university had recognized BA Honours Music, Postgraduate Music and PhD in Music. She had also organized the departments of music in the Martin Luther Christian University in Shillong. Dr. Helen Giri, a distinguished musician, an acclaimed scholar, is tremendously devoted towards the upliftment of Khasi traditional music. Her untiring endeavor has earned her the Padma Shri Award presented by the President of India at Rashtrapati Bhavan, New Delhi on the 5th of May in the year 2008.
And now we have this Lariti where we train the trainees to do the crafting of musical instruments as well as cultural miniatures, and they are selling well. So it's not only that we create employment, but culture is being preserved, because from the sale of the products we can also pay the salary of the trainees, and at the same time not only from the sale of the products, but we also have a collection where from the interior places of Khasi and Jainti Hills, now we collect all the musical instruments crafted by the different master craftsmen. So they bring to this Lariti collection, which creates an outlet. And all the musical instruments which have been crafted and which are being crafted, they are being used by even the schools, both in the school level, the +2 level, the college level, the university level, and even by those who are lovers of music. But academically, it has become a great academic discipline. So we have introduced the study of music and the crafting of musical instruments at different levels in the academic institutions, both in the university, in the undergraduate, and also in the schools, in the +2, all this. Yeah, I started immediately when I retired from NEHU. I retired on the 28th of February 2006, and on the 1st of March 2006 I started this establishment, which I called as a Lariti Traditional Training Cum Production Center. Because I see the talents. The talents are many, and so we have to absorb these talents, we have to accommodate these talents. And from this work, or from this type of work, we can preserve the culture. At the same time, we provide employment to the young people who are very talented. Why do we waste these talents?
Besides the duitara, there are other string instruments. The maringot, having either 3 or 4 strings played by a bow made out of hair from the horse's tail. The maringot is either played solo or along other instruments. The singer of the maringot tells about stories of the Ribhoi region, which has rich paddy fields and a very fertile soil. He tells about the way of life of the people and the fables which have been passed down from one generation to another. This instrument is played either indoors or outdoors. Playing the maringot, Rani Mari also makes his own musical instruments, which he displays in his drawing room at Pahambir village of Ribhoi. Nearly all sets of Khasi musical instruments are being crafted by Rani Mari, and people from far and near keep on ordering these instruments, which show that the traditional instruments are gaining popularity. Kamaranting is also another string instrument, having a single string or as many as 5 strings. A gourd is usually fixed at one or both ends of the maranting, serving as a sound box. Kamaranting is considered to be a legendary Khasi instrument, when there was a time when it had vanished but had eventually made a comeback. It is now an equally important and popular instrument, as people fondly describe it as ting 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 kamaranting. Another string instrument is the sitar, which very much resembles the sitar, and the music produced from the sitar also sounds the same. In recent years, a group of young musicians had improvised an orchestra of Khasi musical instruments, which is for the first time in the history of Khasi music that such a collection of Khasi music is made and played as an orchestra. These young people belong to Penther village in the Khasi hills, overlooking the plains of Bangladesh. The members of the Penther orchestra also craft their own instrument so as these instruments suit their needs in exhibiting their skills. The Penther Orchestra Group have been playing in several shows in capital Shillong and also outside the state, and their ingenuity have been much appreciated and acclaimed wherever and whenever they have performed. Besides the string instruments, there are also wind and mouth instruments which add to the richness of Khasi musical instruments. One of these instruments is the ming, which is an indigenous mouth organ made out of bamboo strips producing a twang twang sound which are music to the ears. the pitch of the tunes controlled by the plucking of the fingers. With the tempo remaining constant, the tunes are changed according to the musical titles they signify. Some varieties of the tunes are Maste, the vigorous dance, Shok Bom, thumping drums, Mare Kulai, the horse racing, and Shat Kla, the tiger dance. The softer and sobering tunes usually played in the evenings are Jem Note, which means tender, Apa Shano Lekpi, where intend to go you, and Terching, which is played on any occasion. The Mieng is also played in quiet moments, the tune coming naturally and spontaneously in a casual afternoon or in the glow of the evening sky. The talwak instrument is a wind flute 1 inch in diameter and about a foot in length. The talwak, made out of bamboo, is usually played in the open, especially to chase away monkeys who disturb farmers in the fields. Other wind instruments is the flute bisli, usually played by cowherds as they tend the cattle in the hills and dales. Benedict Skemlang Hinyota is one of those who is very fond of all types of flutes. To Benedict, playing of this flute is another form of relaxation. Flutes come in different types, including the Tanglot, Shengwiang, and the Sharati. Benedict, an artist who majored from the Vishva Bharati University of Shantiniketan.
I used to like the sound of the flute. So for me it's very haunting sound. So being a visual artist, I love nature also, and I guess the important inspiration for me is nature. I guess the ups and downs of the hills, the wind, the breezing wind, all these is being transformed into a kind of a melody, and I feel that the Bisli is very close to nature. So that's how I pick up the flute and I started playing. The traditional way of making the Bisli in Khasi is that they used to cut the bamboo at a particular period of time when there's no moon. So this is this is necessary because the bamboo which is cut will not be affected by termites. So after that they cut the bamboo and they hang it in the tingir, we call it, above the place, fire hearth. Then I guess that is the time when it is season, so it becomes dry and compact. And after that, when the bamboo is seasoned, they started making the holes. So maybe then we started making first the first note, and then all this the 6 holes, the total. So that's the usual process. This is the main hole where we blow, and then these are the 6 holes in which we use these fingers and produce the notes. So the more you go up, the higher the sound frequency. Starting from the low note. This is the lowest note. So then as you go up, it becomes high. And if you want a octave of that, you have to use a technique which we call double breathing, which you use double pressure of the air, so that you get the high pitch notes. Personally, for me, I think that the wind instrument family, as you have mentioned now, they play a very important role in this Khasi traditional music, because if you look at it, we have got different kind of beats, the drum beats, which are very specific, so that is mainly rhythmic. I look at it from the, it's a kind of a horizontal kind of division. It sets a rhythm. So the moment we add the wind instrument, it's like, it supplement that with a kind of, it's like drawing a line, creating that melody. So without that combination, I feel just the drums, it will sound very monotonous. So that's why I believe that these wind instruments plays a very important role.
The sharati is specially a flute producing a music of love and tragedy, an immortal story of a forlorn musician whose name is Manik Raitong. The queen of the land, Leng Macau, had fallen in love with the tunes and melodies floating out in the night, coming out from Manik Raitong's hut. She had remained in solitude, as the king had journeyed long years to secure the borders of his kingdom. The lonely Mahaday, or queen, became enchanted and mesmerized by Manik Raitong's tunes. The queen, no longer able to restrain herself, dared to leave the palace, guided by the half-hidden clouds on a moonlit night, followed the sound of the mellow and melodic music of the sharati right up to the hut of Manik Raitong. Thus, it was the beginning of one of the greatest stories of immortal love. In a village called Wat Lengkat in East Khasi Hills, lives Ubor Malingyang and his family. Essentially, Bor is a farmer by profession, yet his spare time is never wasted. Whatever time is available after crops being harvested, Bor would turn into a musical instrument craftsman. Bor would often go into the nearby forest to select trees that would make good musical instruments, including drums. It is a tiring job, but Bor does not mind carrying loads of crafted trees to his home. Here he sets about in making a drum out of the wood he had crafted and put into shape by tightening the drum with strips of leather. Slowly and patiently, the drum comes into shape. Bor says, I am devoted and in love with my own Khasi musical instruments. What I am today, I have a firm belief that this is a gift from the Divine Creator. I also believe that my indigenous music is also part of my traditional religion. I am not averse in sharing my belief, knowledge and talents. I am open to teach others so that this art of making and playing instruments continue, like the flow of water in our rivers and streams. It is in such music that these instruments create, that all of us become closer to nature and its surroundings, which sustains our very lives. In the process, we therefore learn to respect nature. Bor performs a demonstration of one of the drums known as Khasi Kantay. Sing means drum and Kantay means woman. This female drum is identified by round patches of black wax on the sides, thus producing a sound that is appropriate to the matrilineal system of the Khasi society. The mother in the family is held in high esteem, as represented by the Khasi Kantay. It is from the mother's lineage that the title surname of the children bear, right down from the ancestress being the source of the clan. On the other hand, the patrilineal mother is the most respected woman in Khasi society, as it is her sons who marry in different clans, increasing the members of such clans. Even in the ceremonial dance of kings called Aim, in some of the religious rituals, the Khasi Kantay, the female drum, is played because Khasi political democracy describes the king as the mother of the citizens of the state. Us Aim Ukme. The Khasi Kantay female drum is usually accompanied by the Padya drum, a small drum beaten by two small flat sticks or bamboo, and also the singpong, which is made out of bamboo and cane. Khasi musical instruments are closely associated and part and parcel of almost all religious and cultural ceremonies and also festivals. In the Jaintia Hills, The Betdain Klam Festival, held in the monsoon season of July, is celebrated with enthusiasm in the chasing away of the plague, diseases, and all negative forces that afflict the society. In this Betdain Klam Festival, held in headquarters Jowai of the Jaintia Hills and other parts of the district, the dancing and merriment are always accompanied by the drums, gongs, bugles, and of course the tangmuri, the queen of the Khasi musical instruments. It is in such festivals that drum beats raises the joyous pulsating spirit of the people. The Shat Suk Manseum Festival, held in springtime, in capital Shillong and other parts of Khasi Hills, is a grandeur. The gold and silver jewelry of the male and female virgin dancers dancing to the tunes of the musical instruments, keeping in perfect timing to the rhythmic beats of the drums, cymbals, and the musical notes of the tangmuri. The Shat Suk Manseum therefore literally carries with it the dictum that all that glitters is gold. In this Thanksgiving dance, there are altogether 7 rhythmic beats which the musical instruments have to comply. There are other festivities held across the length and breadth of Rhythmic land, where people express their happiness through dances and music provided by the musical instruments. The Shat Sukra dance, which is popular in Jaintia Hills, depict the importance of agricultural activities before the seeds are sown in Mother Earth, invoking blessings for the bountiful harvest. The music and the dance therefore relates to prosperity, and the dance is usually held in marketplaces including Jowai. The Shat Sukra and its music invokes the blessings of the divine and Mother Earth, bearing at the same time the richness of the entire dance and music. There has been a growing interest in the Khasi musical sphere in promotion of the music and musical instruments. A number of musical institutions have emerged, including the Jeevan Roy Creative Arts Academy at Umsoksun, Shillong, being actively engaged, especially in the art of drumming, to the young eager students. The Academy conducts courses in music and also holds exhibitions of paintings and drawings by youngsters, which include sketches of musicians and musical instruments. Arwan Singh Taryang is one of the promoters of the Academy to rally around especially the young people to learn to play the musical instruments, paintings, and sketching and performing arts.
Well, the Creative Art Academy was started in the year 1999. And the main objective of this institute is that it came to light after we saw that traditional music was dying off. So we, seeing the value of traditional music, so we decided that we should set up a school that will impart training in traditional music. So hopefully now with this, I think you have seen with the new concept of fusion, a lot of Western musicians also are very keen on blending traditional music with Western music. Khasi culture, as I think you also understand, culture is the backbone of a community. And unless we are able to preserve it, then only will the world know that a community like us, the Khasis, exists in this world. So, traditional music is one sector of what we call culture. So we feel that when we started this academy also, that was the main ideology, the value of culture. So we hope that through this little small venture of ours, it will be a great contribution to bring about that not only to preserve our culture, but also to announce to the world that the community, that is the Khasi community has a rich culture.
Another prominent center of learning is the Snappaka, Fulfillment of Talents, Institute of Indigenous Heritage, under the auspices of the Sengkhasi Madanrating Nongtamai. Sengkhasi organization, established on November 23rd in the year 1899, has evolved as the custodian of the spiritual, cultural, and social heritage of the people of Rhythmic land. The institute impart teaching and learning, especially to young folks, both boys and girls, both in theory and practical. Kong Lawan Suks Imli is the secretary of the institute, informs that the institute, which started from the year 2005, is now very much in an advanced stage as more and more boys and girls are attracted to learn the indigenous musical instruments, especially the drums and string instruments. The institute therefore has future plans for expansion and also to impart more musical instruments not yet included in the curriculum. The students of the institute have had the occasion to perform in stage shows in Shillong and also outside the state, including metropolitan cities like Mumbai, Delhi, and other places organized by different musical organizations in the country. The institute also have plans to bring out CDs and cassettes of Khasi tunes and songs. It is in the Nongkrim Dance Festival that the Saik Sing ceremony is performed, which imply the washing of drums and other musical instruments in the Umyo River, which flows by the side of the township of Smit, being the headquarters of the Khasi state of Hima Kairim. The ablution ceremony signifies the sanctification of the drums and other musical instruments and also other articles used in the performance of rites and rituals during this festival, which is held every autumn. Therefore, it is considered important that these instruments, before playing them, especially the rhythmic drums of the divine called Xingblei, are cleaned in the waters of River Umyo, which is one of the 7 rivers called Kikandai Umtong, Kikandai Umdi, the 9 waters of drawing, the 9 waters of drinking, that ooze from the feet of Shillong Peak, the highest point in Rhythmic and Meghalaya, 1,965 meters. The Shillong Peak and the Nongkrem Dance Festival testify the evolution of Khasi democracy at the time when the Khasi state of Hima Shillong was formed and later was bifurcated into Hima Kairim and Hima Milim in the year 1880. It is during this festival that reverence is paid to the Shillong god, Ublei Shillong, believed to have bestowed upon the people the art of democratic governance and the rule of justice, and also his daughter, Kapak Sentio, meaning lured by flowers, being the progenitress of the ruling clan lineage. During the festival, the precincts of the Yingsat at Smith, or the House of Veneration, manifesting the undying traditions rising from the fountainhead of ancient wisdom. Here in the Yingsat, which was built without nails, lives the state sovereignty, the guiding spirit of policy making in which the spiritual, cultural, social customs and values are deeply rooted and closely guarded. On this occasion reverberates the sounds of the divine music, the 27 drum rhythms within 10 forms of beats. The Khasi musical instruments are therefore interwoven into the social, cultural, political and spiritual fabric, the music produced being the invocation of all musicians to be blessed with joyful happiness, beatitude and nirvana by the divine deity. Ubiskurum, the keeper of the flames of fire, the master of arts, crafts and music, in which the musicians call the Dhulya, offer the veneration with the incantation of O Biskurum, the one who have brought about religion and rituals, to the kings, to the lords, to the big drum, the Padya rhythm, the wind instrument Tangmuri, the musicians Udhulya Udhutar, help us to enhance our ingenuity and strength, to further widen the goodness of everything.